Date, Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Source, Wikipedia. Search term, History of Mongolia. Please note that there is a +@ article description. Various nomadic empires, including the Xiongnu, 3rd century BC, 1st century AD, the Xianbei state, c. AD 93 to 234, the Rouran Khaganate, 330 to 555, the First, 552 to 603, and Second Turkic Khaganates, 682 to 744, and others, ruled the area of present-day Mongolia. The Khitan people, who used a Par-Mongolic language, reference 1, Janhunen, Yuha, 2014. Mongolia. Amsterdam, John Benjamins. p. 4. ISBN 9789027238252, founded an empire known as the Liao Dynasty, 916-1125, and ruled Mongolia and portions of North China, Northern Korea, and the present-day Russian Far East. In 2016, Genghis Khan was able to unite the Mongol tribes, forging them into a fighting force which went on to establish the largest contiguous empire in world history, the Mongol Empire, 1206 to 1368. After the fragmentation of the Mongol Empire, Mongolia came to be ruled by the Yuan dynasty, 1271 to 1368, based in Khanbaliq, modern Beijing, and administered as a part of the Lingbei province. Buddhism in Mongolia began with the Yuan emperor's conversion and dissemination of Tibetan Buddhism. After collapse of the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty in 1386, the Yuan court retreated to the Mongolian plateau, marking the start of the Northern Yuan dynasty, 1368 to 1635. The Mongols returned to their earlier patterns of internal strife and their old shamanist ways after the collapse of Yuan dynasty. Buddhism re-emerged in Mongolia in the 16th and 17th century. I would personally like to pause from the direct quotations of Wikipedia. The above paragraph is written with a bias towards shamanism and therefore does an injustice to the article in and of itself. This article is about Mongolia, and it should be written without bias towards religion, regardless of struggles people of any or no religion faced within this era. The change in which religious practices were majorly preferred at the time is not in any correlation to the state of the country whatsoever. I therefore take it upon myself to give due justice and consideration on behalf of the credibility of this article to restate the above paragraph in my own words. 1368 marked the end of the Yuan dynasty, which led to the start of the Northern Yuan dynasty, 1368 to 1635. Joan L. Following search term, Northern Yuan. The Northern Yuan was a dynastic regime ruled by Mongol Borjigin clan based in the Mongolian plateau. It operated as a rump state after the collapse of the Yuan dynasty in 1368 and lasted until its conquest by the Jurchen-led later Jin dynasty. The Northern Yuan dynasty began with the retreat of the Yuan imperial court led by Togon Timur to the Mongolian steppe. Although Yuan authority in most of China proper collapsed by 1368, Yuan loyalists in Yunnan led by Basil Warmi survived until their defeat by the Ming in 1382. This period featured fractional struggles and the often only nominal role of the Great Khan. To continue from, Buddhism re-emerged in Mongolia in the 16th and 17th centuries. At the end of the 17th, Mongolia became part of the Manchu-led Qing dynasty. During the Xinhai Revolution, Mongolia declared independence from China but had struggled until 1921 to firmly establish de facto independence and until 1945 to gain international recognition. Reference Site 2. Chan, Steve, 2016. China's Troubled Waters, Maritime Disputes in Theoretical Perspective. p. 171. ISBN 9781107130562. As a consequence, Mongolia came under strong Soviet influence. In 1924, the Mongolian People's Republic was declared, and Mongolian politics began to follow the same patterns as Soviet politics of the time. Following the revolutions of 1989, the Mongolian Revolution of 1990 led to a multi-party system, a new constitution in 1992, and a transition to a market economy. Prehistory. Main articles, Prehistoric Mongolia and Proto-Mongols. The climate of Central Asia became dry after the large tectonic collision between the Indian Plate and the Eurasian Plate. This impact threw up the massive chain of mountains known as the Himalayas. The Himalayas, Greater Shingan and Lesser Shingan mountains acts like a high wall, blocking the warm and wet climate from penetrating into Central Asia. Many of the mountains of Mongolia were formed during the late Neogene and early Quaternary periods. Definition: Neogene. The Neogene, informally the Upper Tertiary or Late Tertiary, is a geologic period and system that spans 20.45 million years from the end of the Paleogene period 23.03 million years ago, Maya, to the beginning to the present Quaternary period 2.58 Maya. The Neogene is subdivided into two epochs, the earlier Miocene and the later Pliocene. Some geologists assert that the Neogene cannot be clearly delineated from the modern geological period, the Quaternary. The term Neogene was coined in 1853 by the Austrian paleontologist Moritz Horns, 1815 to 1863. Definition: Quaternary. The Quaternary is the current and most recent of the three periods of the Cenozoic era in the geologic time scale of the International Commission on Stratigraphy, ICS. It follows the Neogene period and from 2.58 million years ago to the present. The Quaternary period is divided into two epochs, the Pleistocene and the Holocene. Side note, tweet sent 4 minutes before 1:11 p.m. on August 30 th. Twitter username at SP4C3B0SS, Jonelle, took pictures on my phone and sent them over Twitter. I have a theory of how and why the universe is infinite. This is in direct correlation with my hypothesis. To continue. The Mongolian climate was more humid hundreds of thousands of years ago. Mongolia is known to be the source of priceless paleontological discoveries. The first scientifically confirmed dinosaur eggs were found in Mongolia during 1923 expedition of the American Museum of Natural History, led by Roy Chapman Andrews. Homo erectus possibly inhabited Mongolia as much as 800,000 years ago, but fossils of Homo erectus have not yet been found in Mongolia. Stone tools have been found in the southern Gobi Paleolithic cave drawings of the Khoid Sankirian Ague, Northern Cave of Blue, in Koht Province. Site reference: 4. Eleonora Novorodova, Archaeologisch Fund, Ausgrabungsstätten und Skulpturen, in Mongolan, Catalog, pages 14 to 20, and the Tsagan Ague, White Cave, in Bayangkonga Province. Site reference: 5. Davidorzian, Facts about Mongolia, page 34. A Neolithic farming settlement has been found in Dornid Province. Dornid is the easternmost of the 21 imagas.
I'm sorry, there is a typo here.
A Neolithic farming settlement has been found in Dornid Province. Dornid is the easternmost of the 21 imagas, provinces, of Mongolia. Its capital is Kabalsan. Contemporary findings from Western Mongolia include only temporary encampments of hunters and fishers. The following sentence was purposefully and willfully omitted.
2022-830.
Oh? 3-1-93-230.
That does not work. So you start here.
2022-830. Plus ADD. X, 3-1-AD 93 to 234, Roran Kaganate, 330 to 555, 552 to 603, 682 to 744. 1, 2014. 4.
I am missing. I found out today that there is a type of it's called that language pack. I don't have installed all the way. So it must not be reading properly, and I apologize about that. I'll try to fix that later. If you like my